every no is your one closer to a yes. When I first started Utama Spice, the amount of doors I knocked, can you put our products in your place? Guardian, the first time I went to them, they rejected me. But you know what I did? I went back. I like, please take our products. And they did. Just have to be consistent. And don't be afraid of people shutting you down, you know? Just pede aja lagi.
Yeah.
So they say in Indonesian.
Iya, pede aja.
Kalture.
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm here with...
Ria Templer.
I'm so excited to get to know Ria and her business, so let's get started.
I'm excited too. Thank you so much for coming all the way here from Uluwatu. I'm so honored. And you know the best gift they say, the best gift that anybody can give you is their time. So thank you for giving me your time today.
Thank you for having and sharing space with me. Do you always want to be an entrepreneur?
No, this was not. No, actually I studied. No, I barely graduated. I went to law school, but I barely graduated. And then I went to work in fashion in Harrods. And then I really wanted to be a fashion buyer and stylist, a closet organizer. That was my dream job. And then in 2009, the recession happened. And then I saw like, what am I doing here? Why don't I just go to Bali and take over? And I guess it all started from there. But, you know, honestly, I have zero business knowledge. It's just kind of learning as I go. At that time, I was like in my early 20s. Young enough, if I failed, I could always go back to London and continue my career there. Let's just do this. I have nothing to lose at that young. I think one of the things that we forget, the younger we are, the more we are given the freedom to fail. And then with failing, you learn. And with learning, you get better. So I think failure is like the number one key to success. We're also conditioned to be afraid of failure. Because I think in school, like, if you don't get your grades, you're not going to get into the school. And like when I wanted to go to law school, I was like, oh my God, if I don't get the grades, I'm not going to get in, you know? So I was always afraid to like fail the test. But the truth is, in life, failure and success come hand in hand. If you don't fail, you don't try. And if you don't try, you never know. Please don't be afraid to fail. Like, failure is your best friend. Because if you learn something, you can do better.
I love that.
But it takes a lot and sacrifice a lot. Like the times I did not take salary, like the times like, you know, just to keep reinvesting because I believed in this so much.
So would you mind sharing me a little bit about your business?
Yeah, Utama. So Utama Spice, so basically we focus on manufacturing natural skincare. So that's from essential oils, soaps, lotions, and I call them potions. So basically we focus on making like natural skincare. Growing up, my mom was a super hippie, I call it. And she didn't want to use any chemicals on me or my brother. So for her, it was like about just making products at home for us growing up. And then naturally, somehow it became a business. People would come to the house. Oh, I have this skin thing. What can you make for me? And mom would go in the kitchen and she would make the product. The products were made with the intention of really good quality and ingredients that were found around Indonesia, around Bali. So the thing is, when we were scaling up, it's such a pain in the ass because I'm like, who makes it like this? Like, why is there so many steps? But it's because my mom really took care of making each product.
So they make the pre-mix, which is like they turn the oil into fat, and then we mix the fat, then we mix the fat with the water to make it liquid. Because once it's mixed.
I think it's like Indonesia has so many amazing herbs and spices. Turmeric, we don't just have turmeric, we have so many hundreds of types of turmeric, you know, temu kunci, temu lawak, and stuff. And like people don't know about them, you know, and there's not enough studies done. When people do studies, temu lawak and stuff, they find, oh, it's so antioxidant rich, it's so amazing, it's so anti-aging. There's such an untapped ingredient market in Indonesia, and I think there needs to be more research, there needs to be more R&D and more like studies in terms of how to utilize them. And the reason why I believe natural products is, honestly, growing up, using my mom's products, because it was like all experiment. There was times I'm like, why am I doing this? The soap wasn't good. But when I went to London and I lived there, I got really, really bad eczema. It was so bad that I had to use like doctor's soap. Imagine Vaselining your skin instead of using soap. Just because the soap would make my skin so irritated. So when I came to Bali and I started using my mom's products, the soap was the only soap that I can use. And my eczema went away. And ever since I've been using her soap, I don't have any eczema. The other day I went to the hospital, like Ngurasan, and I did a skin test. You can like scan your face and see how old you are. And I was so curious because I have only used Utama Spice almost more than 15 years. I wonder what my age is going to be for my face, right? And I'm 37. But when I did my scan, my age was 31. I was like, oh my God, like Utama Spice works. All the stuff that I've been using on my face, it works. And I have never done Botox, laser, nothing. Like even do my own facials at home.
Itu jeans gak sih? Kayaknya I feel like you're born with it, you know?
I don't know actually, because for me, I think it's Utama Spice, because that was quite a huge difference, 6 years.
So what's challenging the most about running a local business?
When you're running an operation this big, because there's so many moving parts, there's always going to be something that breaks down. So it's about like either seeing it before it breaks. Oh, that didn't work. How do we do it better? Looking at all the moving pieces and then making sure that you improve it somehow later. Oh, this works, but I'm not happy with it, but I have to deal with this first. So I'm going to come back to that. Really about balancing priorities. And then also, to a certain extent, you have to really believe in, like, this is what I'm doing, it's right. Because there are days when am I doing the right thing, Is this the right way to invest back into the company? Somehow you just have to believe in yourself and be like, okay, I'm making the right choice.
Is it hard to convince people to purchase your product?
Sometimes, because with natural products, one thing that people, it takes time. Like, for example, when you use natural products, your skin won't be amazing right away. So the results take over time. Even when I started using Utama Spice, because before that I was using chemical products, my skin would break out in the beginning. I think it was just detoxing, and it took 4 weeks for my skin to get good. As much as I take care of my skin, is if there's pollution or if I'm eating wrong, I always get breakouts. So with anything natural, like a fruit has time to grow, you can't just get instant. So I think with natural, you just have to be consistent, and it's not going to be instant. But I think in the long run, it's definitely more healthy and better because it works with your body, right? Versus working against it. And there's no chemical buildup that comes from your body. When you use chemical products, things are residual in your skin. They found it in people's liver tissue. With natural, you don't find that. Lulur, that's so good for you,
Yeah.
Forget skincare, jamu. It's like a miracle drink.
Talking about lulur here, when I was a kid, I always see my mom applying lulur in the bathtub. I think as we get older, we kind of miss that.
Yeah. Slow beauty.
What's the most challenging in the marketing side?
I think it's trying to get the message across. So many words you could use, right? What is something that's going to stick into people's mind? So that's always a challenge, hit or miss. When we're doing campaigns, in terms of when you do social media marketing, you're not necessarily going to see the effect right away. You could do a campaign in January and only see the sales maybe in December. So it's so hard to quantify or give a financial value on that. But it's something that, for me, I believe PR and marketing is something you have to continuously do, an investment you have to make just to keep the message out there, to keep your brand relevant. And you shouldn't quantify what returns are you going to get on that amount of money that you've spent. Market trends change all the time. I think with the TikTok generation, products trend and then they just die, right? For us, how do we stay consistent and not become like a viral product and then die, but consistent? When people buy soap, they think Utama Spice, we're going to buy this soap. Somehow after the pandemic, people want to go to the shops and they want to experience, because we also have DIY in our stores and then we have refills, so people want to go there. So we realize as much as people online shop, they actually go to our store first and then they will shop online. Our dream is, why not sell Indonesian products to Indonesians? This is their birthright. I had somebody come in actually for the podcast. He has really, his skin has different colors. And he used the cocoa butter and it's evened out his skin tone. And so he bought 4 to bring back with him to Sri Lanka. And then some people, oh my God, I can't believe your essential oils are so good. It helps me sleep. I have insomnia, but I'm using your lavender and it's helping me sleep. Doing any marketing, getting market shares, always going to be challenging just because there's so much competition, especially in the skincare industry.
Yeah, because so many people also sell natural products,
Yeah.
claiming natural products, but it's kind of hard if that thing is organic or no. Do you think it's overrated, all the words like organic?
I think definitely there's an overrated factor because who's overseeing it? And I think there's no body that actually says, when you claim natural, there's nobody going to check it. Is it really natural? You can just say it. It's marketing, it's marketing usually goes down to marketing. So yeah, it is challenging. But for us, okay, we know what we can do right. We can focus on quality. We try to do end-to-end sourcing. So for example, try to distill our own essential oils. And then when we do source from other places, we try to make sure that it's quality. The ingredients we use are not harming the environment. So we try to stay away from ingredients that we know they can't be replanted or there's massive deforestation happening because of this one ingredient. Because I don't want to just follow trends. I want to focus on what we know, what we're good at. And I think hopefully people will come and be, okay, I recognize you.
Talking about preserving nature here, you mentioned about this butter that Indonesia has that's similar to sea butter.
Ingredient is called Illipe butter. And it has almost the same composition as shea butter or cocoa butter. And it's only found in Kalimantan. And basically, by us using this one ingredient, which is grown in the rainforest, and this is huge trees, the rainforest has to stay as it is if they want to keep getting this seed. And so when I went there last year, I saw that people didn't really want to cut down the rainforest for palm oil, but they needed income. And so with this Illipe butter, they're able to go into the forest, grab the seeds. This company we work with, Forestwise, is able to pay a fair price for them. And it's actually giving additional income to the community. And last year, we shouldn't have cut it because if we knew we could get the seeds, we wouldn't have cut it. So it's like now they're replanting it. The Illipe butter is really beautiful. It's like this tree. It's called tangkawang. It's basically they plant it for the next generation because it takes 40 years to fruit. So if your parents plant it, it's a gift for you in the future, for their kids. So they're replanting them now, and more and more people are getting on board with collecting the seeds, also being exported and being used to make chocolate, to make skincare. And it's actually, for me, it's like, wow, there's this really good ingredient that comes from the rainforest. It works so well in our skincare, but it's also giving value to the rainforest, and by giving value, you're able to safeguard it, And so far, I think Forest-Wise has saved 36,000 hectares of rainforest from being cut down, which I think is a miracle, especially now, with all the floodings. And it's happening because there's not enough trees holding the ground, But what if we didn't have to cut the trees, but we could still make money from the rainforest? That's your answer, right? The Illipe butter. But for me, it's like, what else can we find in there that we can use, I believe like if we have a healthy ecosystem and a healthy environment, we're going to be healthy too. I think when we start messing around with the ecosystem, we get sick too. I think, the healthier our environment, the healthier we are.
In Bali, it's very expensive. And how can you preserve nature in here?
Yeah, it's so hard. Like for us, like we do some projects in Bali. Most of the water we have is rainwater. And then when we run out of rainwater, so basically all the roofs catch water.
Okay.
And when we run out of rainwater, then we use the well water. Well, we have like a crazy filter system. So like when we test the water, it's clean. And then we also have the reverse osmosis for the production. So yeah, the production water is like, and then it goes through like 2 UV filters. It's not enough to grow rice anymore. I think it just doesn't make enough money. So actually my uncle, who's also one of the directors here, he's doing essential oils because essential oils are really high in value. Like you can sell a kilo for like a few million, right? So what he's doing and what we're doing is we're asking the farmers, can you grow this, misalnya patchouli or lemongrass? And then we're gonna harvest it and make the essential oils. That way you can, make more money from your land. So you can grow your coffee beans, you can grow your patchouli, and then we're gonna harvest the patchouli and use it, and you can, patchouli goes for so much in the market. I think it's like 5 million a liter or something. It's crazy expensive. So can you imagine like if you can add value to just their square meters of land? Obviously they're gonna keep it that way. It's gonna be more beneficial. It's always about adding value. And that value, unfortunately, in today's world is economic value.
And also, it's like, how can you convince the farmer not to sell their land, right?
Yeah.
For these big companies who want to build a hotel or
Yeah.
Airbnb.
Today's financial gain, but at the cost of tomorrow. I think there needs to be like proper zoning, proper permits, obviously incentives to keep the land as it is.
You're doing something so great, especially when you're giving jobs to mothers. I think empowering itself.
Yeah, because actually it was my mom actually. So, thanks to her a lot because she was a single mom raising me and my brother. It's sad, but like the truth is, especially in Bali, women are still underutilized. Even though they're like pillars of community, men still make the majority of the decisions. And I really feel that like when I go back into the community or the kampung, whenever like I talk to the bandesa or the klian, I always have to be like represented by a man. Like I couldn't just go there and talk to myself, and it's still like that. So what happens here is the women make the majority of the decisions as a collective. And you'd be surprised the amount of men that couldn't take that. So whenever we interview men to come and work for us, we have to ask, are you going to be okay if a woman leads you? And I've had people walk out because they couldn't take it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, if you cannot get a woman to tell you what to do, because most of our upper management is women, then you can't work here because like this is a women-friendly environment. Not to mean like there's no men, but we prioritize women empowerment. Just because it's important, like even the statistics itself, like if you can empower a woman, you can change a community. You can see that she'll invest in her child's education. You can see that she will invest in the community. So if you want to change a community, invest in a woman, like do it. And it works.
Yeah, look at you right now. You're thriving here.
But that's not to say predominantly when I'm out there in the world. Like I feel I'm still in a very man-dominated. Like sometimes I'm in meetings and I'm the only female. And it's sometimes hard to relate because like men always have this kind of like men's club. But I try. But it can get lonely. But I have my little niece, when she grows up, I want her to be able to feel, hey, I'm sitting in the room with exactly the same amount of women and men.
So if someone wanna own a business, do you have any advice?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. You can plan as much as you want, and take it from me because I'm a planner. Be flexible. Plans change, things are constantly moving. So just be flexible, be open to new ideas, and don't forget, learn as you go. And remember, failure is definitely a key of success. And you only have one life, really. This is your one life. If you want to do something, I would say just do it. Really, just do it. But just make sure you have a solid foundation to be able to do it. And whatever you do, just be committed to your message. Do what you know best. Like, don't copy other people. Be original to yourself.
What if someone receive a lot of rejection?
You know what? When I was in London and I was doing so many job interviews, somebody said that every no is your one closer to a yes. So yeah. When I first started Utama Spice, the amount of doors I knocked, can you put our products in your place? Guardian, the first time I went to them, they rejected me. But you know what I did? I went back. Please take our products. And they did.
Oh,
Just have to be consistent. And don't be afraid of people shutting you down, Just pede aja lagi. So they say in Indonesian.
iya, pede aja. Yeah. Sometimes people say like, aduh desperate banget sih. Yeah, but so what? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Just keep going, man. Just keep going. Like, honestly, if not to prove it to yourself, prove other people that I can do this.
I love that. So how do you give self-love to yourself?
For me, my food prep, feeding myself properly, my running. I meditate almost every night. Also, I do my own facials, my skincare routine. And that's how I do my self-love. And also spending time with friends, treating yourself, going to the hairdressers. I think the biggest thing is remember to love yourself. Because I think even in this industry, there's going to be so much criticism. There's going to be so much self-doubt, so much self-doubt within yourself. And some days you're going to wake up what the hell am I doing? Why am I still here? So it's important to honor yourself. And I think one thing that I really learned in therapy is celebrate small wins. I woke up today and I went to the gym. Celebrate yourself. Tell yourself you did amazing. Don't forget.
That's true. Celebrate small wins. Yeah, sometimes we don't appreciate what got us here in the first place.
Yeah, and I think because we're so entrenched, we're gonna see all the problems before we see any of the wins. That's just how we're hardwired. And I think this because you have to see the problems because you're gonna have to stop them. I think that's one thing I really learned the end of last year. Celebrate small wins. Celebrate yourself. Learn to be happy with what you have. Just be happy in the present moment. I think that's one of my meditation things. That's why I have to meditate because I have to be happy in the present moment before I see all the problems coming, By that, I honestly feel lighter and happier, and I'm actually making better decisions because I seeing less of the negative.
Well, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Oh my God.
Thank you so much for coming over all the way from Uluwatu.
I love it. And I'm so glad I'm here with you.